In the 1990s, in a small rural community, life changed as the sun went down without electricity. The nights were dark, and activities were limited to candlelight, also oil lamps. Every family gathered for dinner around this little light. Everything changed when a group of engineers and volunteers decided to bring electrical power to these remote areas. This is not the story of a small village, but of thousands of places worldwide. Approximately 733 million people still do not have access to electricity. Most of these people live in regions of Africa and Asia. Although there have been significant advances in electrification, especially with renewable energy-based solutions, much remains to be done to achieve universal access to electricity. Welcome to another video in the series, The 2030 Agenda and God's Agenda. In a world where energy is essential for development and well-being, Goal 7 of the 2030 Agenda seeks to guarantee access to affordable, secure, sustainable, and modern energy for all. But what are the implications for humanity? Goal number 7 of the 2030 Agenda seeks to ensure that all people, regardless of where they live, have access to modern and reliable energy services. How? Through the implementation of renewable energies such as solar and others, sustainable solutions are being brought to more remote communities. These projects will not only provide light, but will also boost development and improve the quality of life, at least in theory. With access to electricity, children can study after dark, health centers can operate more efficiently, and small businesses can thrive. Energy transforms lives and communities worldwide. Approximately 58.5% of electricity is generated through non-renewable sources such as coal and natural gas. Coal accounts for about 35% and natural gas 23%. Not using renewable energy has significant disadvantages. For example, resource depletion. Non-renewable energy sources such as oil, natural gas, coal are limited, and eventually environmental impact is expected to be depleted. The extraction and use of non-renewable energy can cause serious damage to the environment, including ecosystem degradation and soil and water pollution. It also has health risks. Air pollution resulting from the use of fossil fuels is linked to health problems such as respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Opt for renewable energies. Can ensuring that all people and communities, no matter where they are, have access to electricity without having to pay a high cost alleviate these problems and contribute to a better life? It is undoubtedly a proposal that will change the lives of those 733 million people who have not yet had access to it in recent years. A number of innovative and sustainable energy sources have been explored and developed. Here, I mention some of the most notable ones. Bioenergy. Advanced refers to the production of energy from biomass, including agricultural and forestry waste, as well as energy crops. Advanced technologies allow for something more efficient and cleaner. Also another is micro and peak hydroelectric. These are small-scale versions of traditional hydropower plants designed for rural and remote communities. They can generate electricity from small rivers and streams. Improved geothermal energy uses heat from the Earth's interior to generate electricity and heating. In theory, these energy sources can present a better future for all those people who do not have access today to that electrical energy. But imagine if an unknown form of energy was discovered, modern, non-depleted, durable, and low cost. What benefits would it bring to this world? As you can see, the 2030 agenda has good things, but there are also situations that are not very favorable for humanity. To tell the truth, it moves us to assimilate a forced system, and God's agenda does not force anyone. There is complete freedom. Although the world needs light, the light of truth is available today in the Holy Scriptures. The Word of God informs us that before God put this world in order, darkness was on the face of the abyss. It was a dark planet, but God, before creating anything else, the first thing He did was give the command, "Let there be light," and it was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night, and it was the evening and morning of the first day. Our beloved Creator provided for everyone regardless of social status. The class, the family provided light to such an extent that in Matthew 5:45, Jesus reminds us that the sun rises for everyone, dear friend. Despite the efforts of governments and non-governmental entities to provide light to all, this world walks in darkness. I am not referring precisely to the lack of electrical energy, but to the moral situation of El Mundo. We can see around us how human beings are losing their way, crime, violence, injustices, disasters, wars. The value of the human being has been lost to such an extent that abortion is allowed, but those who mistreat animals are punished. The world lives without light and is on the road to hopelessness. If you and I do not find a source of light, if the world does not find moral illumination, the darkness will become denser and denser. We expect light and hear darkness, brightness, and we walk in darkness, says the prophet Isaiah. But I have good news for you today. You don't have to wait until 2030 or 2045 to have access to energy unknown to the world. God has provided a light that is accessible without cost. Today, God's agenda goes further than any other agenda in the Holy Scriptures. God says, again, Jesus spoke to them saying, "I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Christ is the light of the world. Through Him, light shines through the moral darkness. If it were not for the light, the darkness would not be noticed, because the light makes it manifest. The brighter the light, the more clearly the contrast between light and darkness is perceived. If we remove the light, all that remains is darkness, Christ has declared. What's your position? He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. He is the bright morning star. He is the Son of justice. The brightness of the Father's glory is the true light that illuminates every man who comes into this world as a physician. He came to restore in the name the moral image of God that had been lost due to transgression. We don't have to live in darkness. Jesus is that unknown light that brings hope to humanity today. Today is the time to stop. Look up through the reading of the Word of God, since lamp is at my feet, your word, and a light. On my path, the Holy Scriptures are that lesser light that guides us to Christ. The greatest light is a light without cost, without price, that reaches that most distant heart, to that life darkened by problems and hopelessness, despite the efforts of human beings to have electrical energy throughout the world. The words of God. God's words say, darkness will cover the earth, and darkness the peoples. But Jehovah will shine on you, and His glory will appear on you. See this light today. Don't wait any longer. Man's promises are vain, but God's promises are real. God bless you.